Wait for the chat to get pulled up here. There it is. TPG's in here. I'll wait a little bit. Vegans. There's a transition. Brian Davis, what's up, buddy? I'm going to start off with the Warsun giveaway from that video. Again, going to go to this one's a comment one. What's up, apartment maintenance couple? So giving away one of the Warsuns that we just had a video for. They sent me 2 of them. Giving one away to a random commenter that has to have the hashtag Let's Get Lit in it. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll stay after and chat for a while. So that's going to be the purpose of this live anyways. I'll wait a little while and let some people get in first. What's up, Contreras? Vegans Cookie Light. Oh, the flashlight. I was thinking maybe I had that light on or something. I got you. Trimmed up the beard a little bit. What's up, Tolan with Is? Ellie or her, what? You got to put that hashtag in a comment in the actual video. If you go do it in the next minute or so, you'll probably still get in on it. But it's got to be on the other, not this video, but the video for the tool itself. Jeff Cole's in the garage by myself, not anymore. Yeah, it has been better, like running, since I actually ran hardwire internet out here, like even like it's made it possible to do these lives and it not get crazy blurry sometimes, but also just it's been a lot better. I had pretty spotty, like to where even watching like YouTube videos or something was a little iffy on my TV, so it's made it pretty nice. Hardwire is better, a lost art. Yeah, and I bought underground cable and just ran it underground and dug a ditch and went through my crawl space in my house when I did mine, mostly as a test. I was wanting to see if it made much difference of running just that wire before I went crazy to get more stuff out here. What's up, Clint Cole? Well, let me get y'all moved over here. What's up, Robert? To the... Oh, man, I got to reach around the whole thing here. I'm going to get you where you can see this TV screen, hopefully. Let me swap you around. Let's see what this is. All right, let me raise you up a hair. All right. So, going to copy the Warsun rotating head video. Go into the comment picker. Paste it. Again, I'm not going to add the comment replies. I'm going to filter duplicate users. All that does is make it to where you get one. That's why I've told a few people, like who replied back to me and put it in a reply, you got to make sure that you put the hashtag in your comment and not in a reply, because it won't be in there. And then I don't do this, filter comments by words or hashtags, because I'm not a stickler for it has to be spelled like if I get the gist of it is if you've tried to put it in there, all that, the whole purpose behind doing the hashtag is just so that if somebody wants to win it, they can put the hashtag, and if they don't want to win it, they don't have to, but they can still comment. So that's the only reason why really I put it in there. So that's what we're going to use. Number of winners 1. Show random names. 45 seconds. We'll go up to 54 seconds just to be weird. 3 plus 8 is 11. Get the comments. So 86 comments. So you got a 1 in 86 chance. That's more than I think there's been on any of them before. And then we're going to go down here. So here we go. "45 seconds. Do. I saw Someway. Just saw Tool Nut. Mike Bergson. Apartment maintenance couple just scrolled through. It's a long time. Michael Johnson. Had my eyes on the Warsun for a while. Currently using the Bort X15. Thanks for reviewing. Now I have a good comparison. I don't see it, but let me go. Sometimes this doesn't put the whole thing up there. Let me go back. Let me find his comment down here. Make sure. I keep meaning to I don't know why that's doing that for. I keep meaning to say put the hashtag at the beginning and I always forget. So let me pause that. Michael Johnson. Cause see, like for instance, on this comment, like that wouldn't show up in that winner thing, but this one would. So I need to say that on the next giveaways. Not that everybody will probably end up doing it, but Michael Johnson, right there he is. So he does have Let's Get Lit. You can see it right there. So he is the winner. You swap you around again. But I'm going to go ahead and give away both of these too. So let me swap you back around. So we'll do it again. So Michael Johnson is one of them. And then I just saw where I got a comment that said somebody else just commented the Let's Get Lit, like on that video. It popped up on my phone. So I'm going to actually redo this, and that way it might be 87, but we'll see. Let them get in on it. So Michael Johnson's the first one. I'm going to paste it again. Drop this down some. That was a long time. We'll go 30. 4 plus 2 is 6. Get YouTube comments. And it still says 86, so must have been the same. And start. So Michael Johnson won the first one. I'm going to go ahead and give another one of these away too. I'm going to give away both of them. And what I might do on the second one, I might end up just shipping you one straight from Amazon and keeping one, but I'll decide. And if you are overseas and you win this and you can get it on Amazon, if for so happens you are from overseas or Canada or somewhere and you are one of these winners and it's available on Amazon for me to buy it and send it straight to you, I might do that instead. So there's ASAM or ASAM3341. Let's Get Lit is his comment. So that's the second winner. So ASAM and then Michael Johnson. Make sure you email me your address. I'll get you a swap back over here. And then what I will do, what's up, Jacques? Whenever you email me your address, I will give you some kind of word to put into the comment, like some kind of random word, just so I know that you're the person who emailed me your address and make sure that I got the right person. So Michael Johnson and asam3341. Make sure that you contact me. But that's both of these, the Warsun DC08. I'll send one of these to each of you. And like I said, if you're from overseas or Canada or somewhere, I'll still ship it to you. But if you can get it on Amazon and it's still like in the same price range, I'll probably just buy it and let Amazon pay the shipping, because it's probably going to cost me that much or more just to send this thing to you. So let me know where you're from, all that kind of stuff. All right, let me get caught up. Matt said if he won, he wanted the one that I personally handled. You wanted me to autograph it for you? Wyatt's at Lowe's right now. Freedom Creek, good to see you, buddy. There's Jacques. Am I saying that right, Jacques? Is it Jacques? Am I saying that right? Like Jacques Cousteau or TPG Woodchuck, Upstate Maverick said congrats. I'm actually glad I didn't win this one. The Bort V30 should arrive today like the V20. It also has UV. I tell you, UV light's been pretty handy. I hadn't really ever had one for the most part. I mean, I had some, but I didn't really think about using it that much. But whenever the Olight lights started coming with UV on there, it does help you find like quite a bit of stuff if you're just looking around for water leaks or whatever. And it's pretty nasty. Some of the places you go into are a lot nastier than what you thought, but it is a handy. I use it more often than I thought I would, a UV light, so it is pretty handy. Matt said, did you see Joey was asking about a headband in the community page? Yeah, there was a, I'd have to pull it up on my other phone. Some company, you remember what it was, Matt? Started with the L. I made a post. They wanted to send me a headband. I only thought about getting it just for drywall finishing whenever I'm hand sanding. Like that way it's really easy to see like little imperfections and stuff like that. But the reviews on it are like 3.8 stars, and some people are on there like I absolutely love it, and then some people are on there it didn't last 2 weeks, it didn't last whatever. And you know, you never can go by reviews like that. Lightband Pro is what Matt said, because somebody that reviewed it and said it was really good, they might have got on there and made their review like after 3 days of using it, and then somebody else that was really bad, you never know if, you know, they dropped it or who knows what. So you never can tell. So I was asking to see if any of you guys had tried one of those. I don't necessarily need it, but I could see where it would be useful for my certain case scenario, and I'd be willing to get it and try it out, make a video and all those things, so that if it was something that was useful to you, you could get it too. But I also don't want to do that if it's just, I don't like wasting my time just to make a video for something that's not really a great tool. Like I said, I don't just get random stuff and try it on this channel. Normally I've already researched it quite a bit and all that kind of stuff. And it's stuff I'm buying for my own business and stuff that I'm going to use. I'm going to turn this computer off real fast just so the Wi-Fi ain't eating up my stuff. Shut down. Got my phone, my chat phone plugged into my top off because it was about dead. Animal pee, darn cat. Yeah, it shows, like I said, if you take one of them UV lights and go into a restroom, you're like, oh my goodness, it looks like a murder scene. Headlamps, Matt says he does the Milwaukee ones that can swap out batteries. I pretty much have been using for the most part, my Wubin, just as a general headlamp, like going in, just doing a service call or something like that. The one that's like this Warsun here, that's what I've been using and slapping it on my hat. But again, I wear a hat all the time. If you don't wear a hat every day, it won't work out that way. But I've been using the Wubin, I think it's like the X0 or whatever. I did a review for it. It came with a headband. And then I also have the Olight Array that they sent me. I've been using those for drywall finish, and that's what I do, because I just put those on just because I take my hat off normally when I'm doing that, so I don't get drywall dust and all that stuff all over my hat. I got some of the feng shui-ness done up here. I don't know if y'all saw any of that. I'll take you up close here in a minute. I'll take you over now. So I ended up putting M12 battery and the M18, which I finally realized that these batteries were actually supposed to go in. I kind of put them in backwards to start with, which it allows you to get an extra one in there. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I didn't actually just now realize you could even put one up there where I just put that one, so that makes more sense. They're actually meant to go in, I guess, like this. Okay. I was getting ready to say I didn't like how this was set up, but I had something sitting on top of here and I didn't see that thing until just now, because I thought it was like I had something laying right here, and I thought that's a lot of wasted space just so you can get into there. That you could put a whole nother battery in there, so you can actually, so I can put another battery in that now. I put a little, I had this from Olight, came with a light. I got it stuck there to put a flashlight on. There's the Noster clip. I was mostly just trying to get stuff off of these two corners. They were getting to where they were too full. And then I put the screwdriver holder over here and put my Vera and vessels. And then these are those older Klein tools that I got off eBay. And then I just put some random screwdrivers. So all this is just stuff I just grab real quick while I'm in the garage. Like I said, that's typically how I just use this bag. I throw stuff in and out of here all the time. It's always different stuff. But that's pretty much it. I don't think I changed anything else. Thanks for the recommendations on headlamps, Matt Ellis said. Morgan, have you seen the new Woburn X2? No, I saw Project Pine Hills has a video for it. I haven't watched it yet, but I did see a thumbnail for it the other day. Brian Davis used the Coast at work, and it's great. Olight i5R on my hat when I need a headlamp. Yeah, that's how I kind of started using flashlights, was one of those. I think I've even got one of those maybe in my I think this is the i5R. Yeah, the i5R. That's how I started using these Olights as a headlamp, but I like the Woburn one just because it's got that rotating head, so I can kind of, if I'm working on something like right here, but I'm also looking at stuff here, I can kind of adjust the light on it, so I really like it for that. But yeah, these work good too. Just as I'm talking as a general, you're just doing some work hat. Like I said, drywall finishing's a little bit different. Like this wouldn't be enough light. I like to be able to see like if I've got any kind of little pinholes or like a little line of something I need to sand out or something like that. And so if I can get like a light that kind of blows out a little bit more and it's bright, that works out good. But yeah, for normal stuff, like even just one of these works really good. But like I said, I wear a hat all the time, and I would rather do this, than mess with putting on a headband and all that kind of stuff like that. Because also, if I'm carrying this anyways in my pocket or in my tool bag, I don't have to carry a whole headlamp apparatus thing. I can just take and slide this on and off, but I can also still use it as a regular flashlight. I also moved my microphone up on my hat back because I noticed in that last video I had like these things were dinging it, and so I don't know, you guys can let me know if it sounds all right up there. Olight are decent headlamps, but when you get down to it, many features are bad and high outputs only last minutes to an hour. You need something 300 to 500 and last all day. Yeah, pretty much any flashlight, whatever that high lumens is, I never, especially on the O lights, like, because that's the turbo mode, and it's like doesn't last. Like if you turn it on that and leave it on there very long, it doesn't last at all. So whatever that next setting down is, or the low setting, that's the one I'm looking for. Like whatever lumen output that is, that's the one I'm going to use. So that's the ones I put. That's the ones I pay attention to. Yeah, and this one's got the little. It's got a magnet, so it almost looks like one of those golf, like the things you put out to mark your ball, so it doesn't stick out as much as like that old one either. TPG's two lights are the Bort V20 and the Ace Beam Rider RX. Just got my Vera ball grip in from Japan and the diamond tip Clint Colstead. Yeah, those are good screwdrivers. Like I said, I really like those. Like I would probably even use those more than the vessel, except for I like the weight. I like the weight of the vessel a little bit better. The tang through vessels a little bit better than these. But yeah, these are super nice. Like the tips, the laser tips on the Vera are very hard to beat. Now the only thing about the vessel are also kind of like a magnetic tip. Typically, I think most, if not all of them are, most of mine are anyways. And I kind of like that too. But this is almost the same as having a magnetic tip because those little laser etching things. Let's see. I don't know if I can get that zoomed in or not. Might can see it better on the flat head. I don't think this front-facing camera zooms the same. But those are almost like having a magnetic tip. They hold onto the stuff so well. Sounds great. It's out. All right, good. What's up, Wacky Wayland? Your Amazon link to your store doesn't work. I just tried and got a 404 error. Okay, I'll check that because a lot of times I just cut and paste it from another video, so I need to check it and make sure that they didn't change something. Appreciate you telling me that. I'll check it. Coast does a pin light with a bike cap. Great for keeping both hands free. Coast, I think they sell some of them at Home Depot. Am I wrong with that? I think I've seen some of those at Home Depot. Have to head out. I'll text you back soon. See you later, Morgan. See you, Jock. Yeah, because I think I just copied and pasted my store thing. That's a whole lot easier for me to just throw that in there on, especially like a video, like if I just do a live, or because pretty much I've been trying to put everything in there that I normally use. Like I don't just have random stuff in there. It's all stuff I've either made a video for. It's stuff I own. So it makes it where I can just put one thing. I've got a lot of different categories in my Amazon store. Like, I think I've got a folder that's Klein tools I own. I've got like my SBLD loadout bag, because that way you don't have to sit there and spend spend hours putting a bunch of links in. That's why also in my descriptions, and y'all let me know if you would prefer it a different way, but I only put the Amazon links in the description now because the shop button on YouTube usually lets me put Home Depot and Lowe's stuff in there. And that's a lot faster for me to just do that too, because I can just type it in there and hit a button and it adds it and I don't have to. And then also some of the stuff in the shop button, just so y'all know, on anybody that's a YouTuber, they just put stuff in there. Like if they know it's in your video, sometimes they'll put stuff in there. So some of that stuff I don't even put in there. It's somebody, they just do it themselves. So I like the sign in the back. Oh, on the TV. HD has Coast. Yeah. I was just in there the other day looking at their Milwaukee lights, and I was thinking I saw a Coast one right there next to it. So the AI is out to spend all our money. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I have put up a video before, and within minutes, like especially like these are the ones even more in particular because I don't tag a lot of stuff in these because I don't really know what we're going to talk about, type thing. Sometimes they just go down wherever they go. But some of the stuff we talk about, like I'll close the video and it's already got it up there. Like it's in there from the get-go. There's different stuff that I like. It just sees it in the video. I might not even say it, and it will put it in that thing. So it's really pretty crazy, actually. So how cold is it where you all are? We're supposed to get freezing rain and it's supposed to drop like crazy all next week, but it's been fairly cold today. I heated it up in here before I started this live. I had it up to 59. I think it's 55 or something now. I have never or will never have a Facebook, Instagram, none of that stuff. I don't need those spies in my life. Wacky says it's chilling like 68. Shoot, we'd be loving 68. 48, slightly raining in Oregon. Lowest in the Panhandle will be 28 this week. Yeah, I don't remember what they said. I think it starts tomorrow midday. Maybe it's supposed to start like freezing rain and stuff like that, and then quit, and then start back later on tomorrow night into Monday morning. 5 in Minnesota. TPG said 35 here now, 25 tonight. Don't want to hold you up, but can you talk a little bit about what your storage drawers are? They look nice. Upstate Maverick. So I've mentioned it before. I have no idea what the name is. I've looked around on them, and I haven't found anything anywhere. There may have been something on the top or the back, and I didn't pay much attention to them. But I didn't buy them. I got them for free, so that's why I don't really know what they are, even how much they would cost. Let me get you flopped around. So these, they are, I don't remember how wide they are. So let me get tape. Wanted to say it was like 20 or something like it. Yeah, 22 inches deep. And they're basically like just drawers. So let me get that. And like here's I got laser stuff in this one. I put carpet down in the bottom, but they're just metal cabinets. They hold quite a bit though. I've still got stickers. If anybody wants stickers, find the post that I talked about stickers. But if you just send me your address. But they're basically almost like just a file cabinet, but not for files. Like this is all my hardware. These this is like a solid surface countertop on the top of each one of these. And the way these were set up whenever I got them, they were in a quality control lab at a factory that we were doing demo, and they were just going to throw them away. So this one, these had casters on these two, and then those two, like this was stacked on top of this one, and that one was stacked on top of this one, and it's stuff they rolled around inside of their quality control lab. So I don't have a clue where they got them at or any of that stuff, and I can't find a name on them. I even took a drawer out one time to see if there was something on the inside. So I have no idea how much they cost. I have no idea where you can get them. That's why I didn't get to pick the color of them or anything. They're blue. They are what they are. But they are super nice. I really like them. And the fact that, I got them for free, you can't beat that for sure. I go through all of them, and I've got a garage tour where I show you what's in all of them too. 27 New England, 68, better put on your parka. Snow inbound to Missouri, 20 in Chicago, wearing bibs in the garage. Yeah, I came out here this morning and heated up my garage. I was doing a podcast, and then it was getting cold by the end of it because I wasn't running the heater while I was doing it. And then I fired it back up before the guests of the trade to heat it back up in here. It stays warm in here for probably about maybe an hour and a half or so before it starts getting kind of cold again. Like it drops, it's still staying like, it's only dropped like 2 degrees in the last hour, so it holds it pretty decent. Apartments maintenance couple said it's cold as heck in St. Louis. Jim's in here from California. Anybody know a way to hang or mount pliers to a wall? I'm trying to find a way to put them on the lid of a pack out. Milwaukee's got a pliers thing that's like that thing, like the screwdriver deal, but it's got like two little wire things. I haven't seen it in person though, because I thought about getting one of those, but my store didn't have them, and I don't know exactly how they work, so I don't know. Because then you could mount that, but it's still going to be like if you put it on a pack out lid laying down, I wouldn't think it would work. It would have to be on a wall, like a lid that's up like this type thing. But yeah, I don't know of anything. Plier storage is really hard. It's hard to do that. Hard to find good ways to store pliers because they're all such different sizes all the time. I bet those cabinets are expensive too. QC Labs don't cheap out. Yeah, and this was a place that didn't mind spending money. This was a factory that in the 2 years that I was going out there and doing work, we remodeled an office like 4 or 5 times, like 4 or 5 offices in this one little section of their, kind of like their engineering department, I think it was. And by the time, on the 5th time we remodeled it, we put it back exactly the way that it was the first time. So like they paid us to do stuff 5 times and we ended up going back to exactly the same way that it was. It was crazy. Did you ever buy the DeWalt heater? No, I got a Heat Fast. It was in a tool haul video in the last little bit. It was on deal of the day on Lowe's.com for $50, so I went ahead and bought it. It's not battery powered. It's just I have to plug it into my electric and then hook up a propane tank to it. But it does heat up this. I think it's either a 20. I'm a little over 20 foot both ways, and it's pretty small. But man, it doesn't take 10 minutes, and it's 70 degrees in here. If the mag mats are strong enough, they will not fall out. You have to experiment on the wire, on the plier hanging. Wait, you have a podcast. Where do I sub? No, it's not mine. It's Reliable HVACR. He's got one, and I don't know when it's going to come. Basically filmed it today. I don't know when it's going. He's going to let me know, and I'll make a post whenever it ends up coming out. I think he said it might be sometime in February. Even those sideways holding mounts for toolboxes aren't as secure as I'd like. Harbor Freight ones or any brand. I've saw a couple like toolbox drawer plier holders that I thought were interesting, but they'd cost a lot. You know, they're like you build upon them, not like a one thing that you stick in there. You got to buy like little sections of them and kind of add them together. I don't remember what the name brand of them. I'd have to look them up. I've got them saved on my computer. But they do, they look like they was pretty nice, and it was because, you know, that's the problem with the pliers thing is you buy one thing and it's made for, like, say 10 pliers, but all 10 of your pliers are a little bit different sizes type stuff, where this one allowed you to maybe put on some that were a little wider, some that were a little bigger, you know, some that were a little whatever, and you could kind of build your own little rack. Because all the stuff where you just buy one piece, it just doesn't work out for pliers for whatever reason for sometimes. Clint said Etsy has stuff. Yeah, if you go, I find all kinds of stuff on Etsy. I like looking around on it. I just get on there sometimes and search Milwaukee pack out and just start scrolling just to see what all they got. There is a lot of stuff on there. Soggy Bottom says it's now 22 in snow. A company we used sometimes before I retired from Big Oil was Uline. They currently have a similar industrial. That would probably be, if I had to guess, that would be somewhere in the vein of where you would find something like this, because that's typically where like those factories and stuff, they like to buy like from either like a Granger, Uline. You know, they always go to those kind of companies whenever they buy stuff. You know, when money is no expense, or There's nothing like money's not even in the equation type thing. That's typically because they get some kind of, they're already set up with them with an account. Because a lot of times when you get into a big customer, like a factory and stuff like that, they have a process to even get you set up in, even as a contractor, to get you set up to work within their system to where they can even send you checks and stuff like that. So once they have a supplier, they tend to not even mess with going with somebody else sometimes, just because it's a big long process. But Uline is probably, I would say, that might be somewhere where you might could find something like this. That's a good thought. Surface plates are expensive. I got a few sexy granite tops. Yeah, that it worked out really well to be able to have them over there and set those up on that. I had to build bottom shelves on my whole entire. So I've got a bottom shelf, and I set those on it. Same thing over there. I've got, instead of just setting my stuff on the floor, one is I like to get the stuff up off the floor just in case water gets in here or something, whatever. But also, this floor is crazy slanted towards that side over there, the opposite side of what you're looking at downhill, because this used to just be a slab that was a parking spot with like a carport cover, and they did it on purpose that way so that the water would run off. So everything I build in here, I've got to basically build it on a platform that I level out, so that it's, good and not slanted like crazy. Because if I had done that, my drawers, like if I just set these things on the floor, all these drawers would sit there and open, like this all the time and stay open. And I actually purposely, let me get that cord out of the way. I purposely slanted these cabinets. My top is 100% level, but I slanted these cabinets just a very smidge back towards the back wall so that I don't have to actually shut them. They always shut themselves, and they stay shut, like they don't stay propped open any at all. So I did that on all those too. So I've got them, actually, the cabinets are a hair out of level going back towards the back wall, but my top is level. 0.00. I'm thinking about going and getting that pack out screwdriver holder. Always wondered how many it really held. If you have an affiliate link, I'd like to support your channel. I think I might have put one in the shop button of the last live. I'll show you some stuff about it though before you get it, because it doesn't fit everything well. Let's see if I can get it all in the picture. So you basically have, let me just go ahead and move these. So it has a bunch of holes back here in the back. It's got 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and there's 3 more on the other side, so 6. And it's basically got a row of 3 of some bigger holes. These are slotted. Now you could put like let me find a pair of Cobras. Like if you wanted to, you could take pliers and put them in like that on this. That's what I did there. You can't necessarily fit, for whatever reason, they won't go in that way. But you could do that. You're obviously not going to be able to use very many screwdrivers in if you do that. But all these back holes, like insulated screwdrivers, they're really too small for those. It's way too tight. So you almost have to use the big holes, and you only have 3 of those. So you can't hold a lot of big screwdrivers, but the back ones, you could put regular, like disc screwdrivers that just have shafts. So you can fit more of those in there than what you can insulated. And then these up here in the very front are even smaller. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 holes that are kind of that size right there that the insulated won't go in, but you can use regular ones. These up here you'd have to use for like precision drivers, something like that. And as far as thicker ones, you pretty much have to put them in those bigger holes. And then the smaller ones will still fit in those smaller holes. So it's got quite a few holes. Just depends on if you're just going to use regular screwdrivers in it, you can fit quite a bit in there. But if you're using any of them that's got like insulation or they're bigger or whatever else, there's certain ones you can't fit in certain spots. But overall, it's pretty good, I think. You could easily make yourself one out of wood. Just make you a flat spot and drill you whatever holes in whatever situation you want. I just have a drawer for pliers in my toolbox. Can be a cluster. That's kind of the way mine is right now. I've got one of those magnetic plates in my drawer. That way at least they don't wad up on each other. But I still have too many in there though. I've got a table here in front of it. I don't know if I can get to it or not. We'll see. That's my drawer, but I did only have enough pliers in there that I had them kind of singled out on that. That's a magnetic metal plate, but I have too many in there now that I can't use just that plate. I want a bigger toolbox, but I don't necessarily need it. I need less tools in my toolbox than I need a bigger toolbox. Do we need an camp project? Fix the slanted slab? Now, if I was going to go to the route of fixing the slanted slab, I'd just build me a new building and make it bigger too. And then also do something different for the sound factor so I wouldn't have the rain prop, like not being able to film out here in the rain, that kind of stuff. My garage floor is sloped to a center drain. I have to level everything. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, except mine is significant. Like I mean, it's quite a bit. Like, cause I remember whenever I built this base for this thing to set these on, I ended up taking, I want to say just from the back wall to right here was almost like 1.5 inches or something like that. It was something crazy. And it gets pretty significant. My garage door was really hard. That's why I put in a smaller garage door because like width wise, because I couldn't do much more of a span without I have a huge like rubber piece on the bottom of my garage door and it's touching on one end and then it's barely touching on the other. If I'd have went much bigger, I wouldn't have been able to use it. Those fence pickets aren't gray yet. You need to have less tools. Selling tools live stream. I need to have less tools. Don't want to have less tools. An auction. That hurts hearing you say you need less tools and a bigger toolbox. Well, that's only because like I don't do a lot of work in here. Like, do I want less tools and not a bigger toolbox? No, I'd rather have a bigger toolbox and more tools. But my toolbox, in my opinion, is my truck. Like this stuff in here is just extra stuff I grab out of this drawer whenever I'm doing something in here, working on some kind of part or working on my lawnmower or my truck or, putting together something for a job or whatever it is. But everything that's in this toolbox, I've got a version of it in my truck too. So that's why I don't think of this as like how some people have their toolbox in their garage and it's like they do a lot of work out of it. This is more just the quick grab stuff just so I don't have to go get in my truck and dig out stuff and stuff like that. Because really my truck's even just parked right there, so it's not like it's that far of a go to get to it. But I prefer not get my stuff out of my truck to work on stuff here at my house, because sometimes the stuff at my house, it might go on for multiple days just because I'm only coming out here and working on it when I can. So I don't want to have those tools out of my truck and in here, and then I end up leaving something in here. I get to a job, I start looking for it, and I'm like, oh, it's in my garage, which that happens from time to time because there's some tools I don't have, two of or anything like that. Captain 41 said he loves his Warsons. I like that little, the flat light. Like I said, you still have to cycle through it too, or you can press and hold it, and I think it turns off. But I only get that out like as it's just something that's nice that fits in my vest. It's not like my favorite light, but it's not a bad light for its size, and it's definitely not a bad light for its cost. I'd buy it probably over like just a normal pin light that you buy at the store type thing, because it's got the light, because I can flip that one outside of my vest pocket and have that front light coming out. That's the T7 one, not this one that I gave away, but the T7 one. So they aren't bad. No such thing as too many tools. That's 100% true. To the person who owns them, just not to their wife. Is there a Facebook group or Discord for us to all send links and types of stuff in this community? No, some people have asked me about this. I don't even know anything about. I'm on Facebook as a fake name, and I only do it for Facebook Marketplace. Like, I don't have any friends or anything like that. And then I don't even know what Discord is, just to be honest with you. I haven't ever looked at it. I think Doc from Last Best Tools has us all beat on tools. Between him and I think Steve's Wood Shop and Tool Reviews is coming up right behind him. Clips on my shirt, my hat, and magnetic. Yeah, it's a good light for, like I said, if you catch it on $10, if you catch it with the coupon or whatever, it's hard to beat for $10. Terry Burton said, just checking in, who won the flashlight? It was Michael Johnson. And just in case I say the names wrong, you have to go back and check and see. So if I say your name now and you weren't them, then you don't win. It's whoever actually won. But it's Michael Johnson and then some numbers. I don't remember what those are. And then it was A. Sam and then some numbers. And I don't remember what those numbers were either, but those are the two. Matt said not you. Matt said Doc must have a huge storage spot. Yeah, that's whenever I see like I can point to somebody like that, though. I'm glad there's somebody like Doc out there that I can show mismaintenance and say, see, I'm not the worst. I'm not the one who has it as bad. I don't have the tool bug as bad as some people. They got it even worse than me. Yeah, I didn't do anything this week special other than I just worked at that quadplex apartment building, just doing little odds and ends. I got to put in the exterior doors next week because the brick people are going to try to start the week after next. So I got to get all the brick mold on the doors and all that stuff up so that they can have those. We've left the doors off as long as we could with the different trades coming in and out, so don't get them all jacked up, but they need to have those doors in place when they do the brick, so I'm going to get them next week. I haven't really I did a few exterior light jobs this week, service call stuff, like just changing out stuff. Just fixture changes, but nothing spectacular. I didn't have anything weird this week. Matt says he's putting up doors and door trim right now. How's the Milwaukee battery holder working out? I think they're pretty nice. I like how the stuff clicks in at least. I have some other battery holders for M12 that I bought a long time ago that were 3D printed, and they just screw in with some screws on the base, and then you just stuck your batteries in them. They're actually the ones in my truck video inside that drawer, but they're in that position now where they're always like down, so they work fine for that. But I bought them originally to hang batteries on the wall, but they didn't click in, and they would always kind of fall out sometimes, so I quit using those for that. But yeah, I like these. You know, they come out easy, but they also click in. Like, it's not hard to get them out. I just now learned something on the M18 one today, though. I can add another battery. Yeah, I had something sitting right here. Because I thought it was weird. I was like, man, that's such a waste of space. But you can put another one right there. So it just keeps them off my desk. I was looking for ways to get a few things off the corners of my desk because I always kept the spot where I film most of the time. It stays empty all the time, but I was just trying to get rid of all the other stuff that hangs out on the side. Y'all probably know how it is if you've got a workbench or a table in your garage. I've got the, what was the name of that brand? I made a video for Bangwood or whatever it is. Something like that. I've got it right here, and it's been constantly just full of stuff that I'm waiting to put up or do a review for or whatever. Strange week. We felt like we had 2 Mondays. Yeah, it was a weird week. It's been hard for me to remember what day it was. Every day kind of felt like a Friday, but every day kind of felt like a Monday. Oh, I did. Yeah, so I did go, which I mentioned that in the last live. I think I did some work at that church building, just hanging stuff on walls and stuff for them. I love simple service calls. Electrical are the most fun. Yeah, I love electrical service calls where somebody's got a problem. That's what I like. That's my number one thing I like doing. Contreras says he's painting right now. When people opt for Pro Pack compressed fiberboard trim, yeah, don't expect much out. Yeah, I hate that stuff. I don't even know that I would install it, to be honest with you, if somebody bought it. That stuff that's like foam almost. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Clint Cole said he's got the battery holders. They're nice. Matt HMM said stealth mounts. That might have been, I don't remember if I've got any extra of the ones that I had. I know I do, but where they are, I have no idea. I know I have some extra of the ones I've got in my truck, but I don't remember what I did with them. Just to show you one, but it was just they actually worked with my Bosch batteries, my Bosch 12-volt batteries, and my Milwaukee, because they're pretty much the same battery, just reverse polarity. But they didn't work unless you have them flat, like how I've got them in my drawers in my truck. Well, my truck's out there. I'll just go out there. I'll show you. I've got my keys this time. I normally don't have my keys out here, so. Although I'm going to let some of my heat out. Which I don't have as many of my batteries out here because it's cold. I put them in a bag and take them in, but it's just these kind right here. I just screwed them down, but they're really intended, like you can put them on a wall or you can put them even upside down, supposed to be able to, but these things just fall, whenever I hung it upside down, I kept having my batteries fall out. So I didn't like using them. Like you put them like this, they're fine. They work great. But you put them any other on a wall or upside down. I like the kind that click in, like the pack out ones a lot better. My desk is a disaster area. Sweep it on a bucket and put back what you really need. Fastest way to sort stuff, touch it less. I do that a lot because there's a lot of times where I've got a bucket full of even like screws and stuff, but it's like it would take me so much time to go through that bucket and put them back inside of stuff wherever they actually go. And you got to think about if I'm gonna spend. Now, I mean, if you're just out here and you don't have anything to do, that's fine. But if you're busy with work and whatever, it's a lot of time to do that to save, very little money. Which I've got a whole container over there just full of. I actually keep a big container for in that situation. Instead of throwing them away, I take them over and just throw them all in that bucket. And then that's what I pull stuff out of whenever I'm just doing jobs around the house instead of getting into my stuff that's already sorted. And if I'm doing something that the time's not doesn't matter, I'll grab that whole big bucket and dig through screws and get out whatever it is I need. Paint that building black. Don't give Miss Maintenance any ideas. She wants to paint it. I'd just as soon tear it down and build another one. Next time you troubles lights are flickering. Next time you have a lights are flickering half my house call. Tell them you don't need an electrician, you need a priest. Oh, and done. We have a van die this week. It was our 2019 350 with the 3.7. My old Econo lines are lasting way longer with 3 times the miles. I'm hoping my truck lasts for quite some time just because I kind of got it finally set up. It's working really well for me, but I'll probably get a van, my next vehicle, but I won't buy one until something happens to my truck because I don't owe anything on it, so it'd be silly. I've never really personally, I've driven vans just in general and picked up a few things in one and dropped it off and, that kind of stuff, but I've never really worked out of one, so I've always worked out of a truck, so I'm kind of used to it, but I get the appeal of a van for sure. Just more so I would like to just be able to go open up the back and get in it, and then that's the one place I got to get in it, because sometimes in my truck, I got to get some stuff out of my passenger side, I got to get some stuff out of my driver's side, I got to get some stuff out of the left side of my camper, the right side, and then some of it I got to open up the back to get into my drawers, my deck drawers. So it would be nice to just, boom, I open up one door and I have access to everything type thing. And I think in the big scheme of things, like even though you can put sheets of stuff in a truck and all that kind of stuff, I don't do as much of that anymore. And I'm hoping in the future to not be going and buying a bunch of sheet goods and stuff like that. That's where a truck is kind of nice to me because I can just throw it in the back. But I also bought that enclosed trailer for that reason, because it's gotten to where it's not even easy to put it in the back of my truck because I keep so much stuff in there that even if I get a van later and I can't fit stuff in there, like that kind of stuff, if I need a bunch of it, I'm going to be using my enclosed trailer anyway. So Mike says, how is Klein's warranty? I've never warranted anything with them, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But somebody else just said, how is their warranty on the Klein pliers wrench? I don't know if that was you on the video. But whenever I was there at Lowe's buying the Klein pliers wrench, in case that was you that just made that comment too, I asked the guy, I said, is it true that we were talking about cobalt and stuff first? I said, can you just bring those in here to the store and swap them out? And he said, yeah. Again, this is just an employee talking to me, so you might go up to the front and they might say he was on something. But he said, cobalt, Craftsman and Klein at Lowe's, you're supposed to be able to do that. That's what he said. Now, again, whether that's true or not, I don't know. I've never done it. And it's probably one of those things, the same as all the deals at Home Depot and everything else. It probably depends on who you get up there at the customer service desk, who the manager at your store is, what they should do, and what they sometimes will do is two different things, or what they say they're going to do and all that. But I've never used Klein's warranty at all on anything, so I have no idea. Which I'm not a big... The only stuff I would even probably attempt a warranty, I sent in the Milwaukee Surge because I didn't have anything to lose. It's like I had other tools to use, and I thought, well, I'll mail it in and see what they do. And they fixed it. But most of the time for hand tools and stuff like that, if it's a $20 pair of pliers or $30 pair of pliers, now if I could walk in a store and change it out like what they say you can there, then that's fine. But if I've got to do paperwork, if I've got to call phone numbers and spend 2 hours on the phone with somebody, if I've got to, mail it in and do all that kind of stuff, I'm not going to mess with doing all that. I'll just go buy another pair of, if I liked them and they just so happen to break, I'd buy another pair of the same thing, or I'd go buy something different or whatever. This was the low roof one. It sucked kind of, but it only 211,000 miles. I have the 3D printed battery and tool holders. They are okay. I like the pack out holders because they are easy to move and rearrange. Yeah, it would be kind of nice if you had like the. I didn't want to do it because I don't need that whole. I've got a wall mount thing over here. I could have put up there and did that with, but I knew whatever I did here is going to be pretty permanent, or I just take those screws out and it doesn't matter. But it would be pretty nice. Like if you had a whole wall system of this pack out stuff and you just wanted to move some stuff real fast, it is pretty nice that you can just unclick it and move it around, do whatever you want to. It's kind of almost like a pegboard type situation. I was going to go ahead and buy one of those. My Home Depot never carried it. A lot of the Home Depots were running the little deal that held the impact and drill, but it also came with the wall plate. The normal price was $50, but a lot of them are clearancing them out at $30. But my Home Depot never did have them in the first place, so I wasn't able to get any of those. I just noticed you have some metal magnetic parts bins. Yeah, I mentioned those in a tool haul. These are the Milwaukee pack out ones. They're the, let's see if I can get the, yeah, Milwaukee. These magnets on the back side are probably the same as your, standard, this kind of a deal. Might be a little bit weaker. These are always pretty stout. Like this is a Husky. That's pretty stout. The back side, as far as how they stick to stuff, pretty much about the same. I don't feel like the magnets inside of them are as stout as, it's like it's almost as if there is a magnet here and a magnet here on the double one. So you got like a void here in the middle. So there's certain spots like that screw right there. I've got one screw slinging around in there. The rest of them are all pretty stout. So I've never had that happen so much on like one of those. If you put something in one of those, it seems like it ain't going anywhere. So I don't think they're quite the same. I mean, they definitely look better than those. And the biggest thing about these I mentioned in that video is, let's see if this one's empty. Like if you want to build, this is the whole reason really why I bought these, in case I want to build something later. Like, so you can take out like this tray and put this inside of there. Same thing with the small one. You can take out one of these and put this one inside of there. So it works in your pack out as a magnetic parts tray. So that's the whole reason why really I didn't need these around my garage. I've just got them sitting there for now so I can throw stuff on them. But I knew there was going to be a day where I build out something and I'm like, ooh, I'd like for this to be magnetic up here or something or other. So I went ahead and bought them because they were on clearance. I think this one was on sale for like $7 or something like that. And this one might have been $9 or $10 or something like that. So that's the whole reason why I just went ahead and bought them. So I've got them in case something comes up, some job box, some parts box where I want to build something and have a magnetic part holder inside of them. Yeah, as far as sticking to stuff, the magnet is really good. It's the same. Like I can open my drawer and they stay on there. The only warranty Matt says he's done is the stuff he bought at supply houses. They take care of it, but not the crappy China low stuff. Yeah, I've also wondered that whenever you get into manufacturers now make stuff in multiple places. So is it only some tools that are lifetime warranty, some that aren't? Like Milwaukee has made in the USA stuff now, and then they also got their other stuff. Is the warranties different on each one of those, or does it matter? I don't know. I never typically, it takes so much time most of the time to mess with it. And like I said, unless it's an expensive tool, a power tool, something like that, I probably just eat it. Brian said buy a Chevy van. We make them here in Wentzville. Road Rage Jason, I have used the Klein warranty 3 times and it's effortless. I've used the rigid warranty 1 time and they never got it going. I did try to do I used to have a lot of rigid battery tools and power tools. I still got a table saw. I used to have a miter saw, but then I had like several battery powered tools. I remember one of the first tools of theirs that I bought was a oscillating tool. I'm trying to think of what the name of that tool was, but you could change all the heads. It had a oscillating head, a right angle drill head. Like you could do multiple tools with that one thing. I had a problem with that tool, and for whatever reason it wasn't covered. They didn't cover it, even though it's supposed to have a lifetime warranty and all that stuff. So Terry said Klein's warranty's good but a bit slow. Captain said he called Klein directly on broken zippers on his backpack and they mailed him another one. That's nice. Napa Carlisle walk in, walk out with new tool for warranty. Not the strongest magnets, but they're cheap for Milwaukee parts bin. Utility ice cream jars for parts. Oh, Matt said, come on, no. Telenati ice cream jars for parts. Or what it is normally in my area is I see a lot of times is baby food jars. You screw the lid to the wall and then twist in the jar, or mason jars, or those kinds of things. I've seen that a lot of places too. I know if I did that glass jar stuff, I'd have broken, like I drop stuff sometimes, so I wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, TPG says Dad used Gerber baby food jars. That's what I've seen the most is baby food jars. Mike said, I found your channel from a short and left a comment about Klein warranties. I saw you realize so. Yeah, that's probably what popped up on my phone a minute ago. I figured I'd ask. I agree about walking out. That's why I go Harbor Freight. Yeah, that's the only warranties that really I would probably mess with. And like I said, the guy at Lowe's, because it was the day that I was back there getting that Klein pliers wrench. He was getting them down with the ladder. They weren't out yet, but I saw the boxes up there. I asked him if he'd get me one. And while he was up there, I was talking back and forth with him about tools. And I said, I've never really known this for sure, but I've been getting asked questions about different tools and warranties. And again, I've never paid much attention to it. But I asked him, I said, so is it true that like Cobalt was what I was asking, because they had a lot of Cobalt tools sitting there with the Klein. I said that you can just walk in here and replace these if one of them's bad. And he said, yeah, because it's actually Lowe's branded tools. Like they own them or whatever, make them or whatever. And then he said it was the same thing with Craftsman. And he said, and it's the same thing with Klein. That was what he said to me. But again, that's what he's told me. He's an employee. I don't know if that's true or not. I always check warranty. I can't afford to buy tools more than once since I don't do work professionally, DIY to save money. Yeah, because like for me as a professional, if say my pair of pliers breaks on me and I'm in the middle of a job, I don't have the 2 or 3 hours and 2 or 3 days to go. So that's why I guess I never think of it. It's like if it happens, I'm just going to have to go buy another pair of pliers. And again, I might buy the same ones. I might buy a different one. Just depends on what the options are there. But yeah, it would be like if you've got the time, it does make sense to why spend money if you can get your tool fixed for free. Old Folgers coffee cans for parts, Tanner West said. Yeah, I remember all the nails. We used to store all our nails in Folgers coffee cans. Auto stop and start is just asking for trouble. No thanks. Y'all are probably talking, I guess he's talking about trucks. Anyone use the Klein Tool 6-in-1 cushion grip tapping tool? Or should I get the drill and tap drill set? Let's see. I'm going to go look at my truck. I think I've got that. I don't know if I keep that in my truck. I've got it. I picked it up. I don't know if mine's the 6-in-1 or if mine's a different one. Let me see. Should have it. Yeah. And then I'll go ahead and get my drill bits out too. I think y'all can still hear me while I'm out here. Just can't see me. And I'll tell you which one I use the most is the drill bits more than I do but if you're talking about this one, the TAP 626, is that which one you're talking about? Real handy if you're doing boxes and stuff like that. But what I normally run into and why I end up using these, which this is a Greenlee set. I've got the Klein set that I keep in my electrical box with all my electricals. That way, this is in my truck. If I just need to run out and get it and I don't need anything else, but I keep a set of Klein ones in with my wire nuts and, you know, pigtails and all that kind of stuff where I just take in the whole box. This one was I bought a metric set too and kind of put it all in one box. But I use these a lot because sometimes in boxes, old boxes especially, there's no place to put a ground screw. Like they don't have a pre-tapped hole or anything like that, and you got to make one. That's 9 times out of 10 what I'm using this for. This is just because a hole is messed up and I want to go up to the next size screw in a box type thing. But this is nice to carry on you. But you could also, if you bought a set of these, and you buy yourself any screwdriver these days, so used to it was a little bit harder, but I mean, even if you got like the Impact 11 one, and you want to put one of these bits, you know, in that, you can use it in a screwdriver. The same difference as having this all in one thing. So the only thing that's nice about this is that it tapers up to the next one, so you can kind of just stick it in and go to town until you catch something type thing, versus this is just one size. But I would think you'll run into times where you'll want a drill bit set. You can always put these drill bits in a screwdriver handle. So if I was only going to buy one, I'd buy the drill bit set personally. But you know what you do. But this one's pretty good too, though. This is a good screwdriver if you want a screwdriver. Why at the Pot? Hey Morgan, how'd the live stream giveaway go? Well, we gave it away to 2 people. The second one you had to be here, and we drew Wyatt the pilot, and you weren't here, so then I had to give it to somebody else. It's just kidding, buddy. Drill taps all the way. Anyone have a work glove recommendation? I pretty much use cut level ones. I really do like the Klein ones the best so far. I made that video of the 4, DeWalt, Klein, MaxiFlex, and Milwaukee. I use all 4 of them. I mean, all 4 of them are good. I'm not saying like one is leaps and bounds above the other, but I do like the Klein ones work with my phone better than they work with the rest of them. And they're pretty much all the same in every other aspect other than touchscreen, working with touchscreens. So that's why I like the Klein the best. Moved my parents to a retirement apartment, and all my dad's tools there were 10 Folgers cans overflowing with all kinds of hardware. Yeah, that's the way it was. That's how my parents kept their stuff too. We have a rule that if there's not at least 10 of the same screws goes in the trash. I'm not sorting or paying someone to sort hardware. Yeah, it can be pretty time consuming. Like I said, I normally will just come in. I've got a big bucket over here just full of it. And then if I'm working around my house just doing stuff, I'll get that bucket out and set it out here on my workbench. If I'm not in any kind of time crunch, I'll dig through and pick out the 10, 15 screws that I'm actually looking for type thing. But yeah, I don't spend a lot of time making sure, because most of them I buy in bulk anyways, and I've got a ton of screws, so I do keep, like, if I've got maybe that many of them left, that's the whole reason why I also bought this thing. I just started putting, like, if I've got 10 or 15 screws or something, I just stick them in this, or I've got little Ziploc bags that I put them in, and I keep them inside of a thing in there. So every time there's a giveaway, my dad needs help with something. Wyatt said. Lamont work gloves, all leather or white mule, nothing beats it. Been looking for years, been working for years for firewood. What's up, Someway? Stuff happened, Matt said. And somebody retracted something Wyatt did. I tell you, this top off does pretty good on these phone batteries. Some football games today. No Thursday nights anymore, but they got some Saturday games. Or as Matt likes to call it, sports. Miss maintenance and my son's gone to town, so I'm here by my lonesome. I used the DeWalt 100-watt PD one, and it worked great. Sports. Horrible misspells, but John Deere cost farmers $4.17 billion from their repair rules and having such complicated machines. I've seen a few videos on that kind of stuff. I don't know anything about any of that. I'm not into all that kind of stuff, so I don't know. But yeah, I've seen a few videos on stuff like that. I've got power banks here, and they're for charging stuff. I think you mentioned Jake last time. What is his YouTube channel? Coolin' with Kraus. There's a Jake that's Coolin' with Kraus. If that's, he does HVAC work. He does some tool reviews. He doesn't do as many tool reviews as he used to. He used to do a lot more, but now he films himself working more so than anything. So that's probably who I was mentioning. Anybody buy any new tools this week? I've got one new one I bought this morning coming. It's a secret. And then I did get my lifting jacks, which is a secret. So I've got those. Skill tools is really starting to improve. Milo's never has carried a lot of the Skill brand. They've got a few things back there on the clearance, but Milo's and the Power Tools has mostly carried Cobalt, Craftsman, Metabo, and DeWalt and Bosch. But for whatever reason, I've seen several Skill sections in a lot of different loads, but Milo's just, I guess, decided they didn't want to carry them as heavy or something. I'm not sure why they don't. Because Matt has sent me some deals on some Skill stuff, but Milo's doesn't have them, so. No new tools this week. Well, I did order the Borut V30. Should arrive today. I want a Bosch Go 3 if I can get one in the USA. Someway got the Makita hand blower. So the little small one, like looked like that Maleef one I had a video for a while back. That kind of hand blower. Let's see. UT Gar DR. I don't know. I'll probably butcher that, but I'm going to try it. Garter. Discovered Klein because of you. It's my favorite brand ever since. They make good tools. They're not quite the brand that they used to be. Like they used, but also I don't know that they might be the same brand that they used to be as far as the made in the USA stuff. It's just I have found out about other tools as well. So it's not like there are some that are as good, or even some of them that's even a little bit better, in my opinion. Again, not, whoa, it's way up here and Klein's down here type stuff, but, but, you know, I don't know. It's just, I have found out about other tools as well. So it's not like there are some that are as good or even some of them that's even a little bit better, in my opinion. Again, not, whoa, it's way up here and Klein's down here type stuff, but, but, you know, I don't know. It's just, I have found out about other tools as well. So it's not like there are some that are as good, or even some of them that's even a little bit better, in my opinion. Again, not, whoa, it's way up here and Klein's down here type stuff, but, but, back whenever I was running only Kleinitz, because it was really the only thing that was in front of me, in stores. It was really between that and a few other brands, and they were the best ones that I liked as far as that goes. Jeff Coyle says, whenever I upgrade my tools, I give the old ones to my kids. I do that with like people I work around some, and then my kids don't. They've never been. I made my one son when he moved out. I made him a tool bag, but it's more so a tool bag that if I go to his house, I've got one over there that I can work out of. But yeah, they're not real big into tools like what I am. Elliot said, "You guys just shut down in the snow and ice. We get cold, but no snow or a little ice here." Uh, Not really. Just depends. I mean, if it's real bad, there's no sense in getting out in it. It ain't like we're saving people's lives out there type thing. So it ain't worth risking your own life. But if you can get because they usually do sometimes I'll go in later than what I normally would, just to give it enough time to be 100% daylight outside so I can see everything better and give them time to at least put something on the road type thing. But it all depends on what the jobs are that I have to do. If it's something that just isn't super important, I'm not going to mess with wrecking my truck or something like that just to get out and do something that I could easily do the next day type thing. It's a big expense it's not even so much you have insurance on your truck or whatever else. It's the whole time without it and all that kind of stuff that really, really gets you. It's just not worth it. Flatland said he doesn't have a Lowe's there. He said they have a Menards, so they have to order tools online. Yeah, that's the way. Even though I've got a Home Depot, like I've got a Home Depot, Lowe's, and a Menards, my Home Depot isn't like a lot of other ones in the tool section. It's not bad, but they don't carry, which I will say they have gotten a little bit better in the last year. Like I don't remember whenever I did the live walkthrough, but the video was so bad because my phone signal's horrible there at that Home Depot. But they have started adding they've got a section down the middle now where they've got miter saws and table saw, Milwaukee stuff wise, even like concrete stuff and stuff like that. But most of the time I always have to order and ship it to the store and get my tools, but I can at least ship it to the store, not my house. I like doing that better for my tools because that way if something happens in shipping to my house, it's not, oh, well, I didn't get it and it's my word against somebody else's and all that kind of stuff. I can just say, I open it right there at the store and I pick it up and be like, this ain't, if I was supposed to get a free battery or whatever else and it's not in there, I'll be like, this doesn't have the battery in it. And then they can fix it right there and it's not a whole ordeal. So I always do that because I'm in town, by Home Depot all the time. It's not a big deal for me to run by there. But yeah, I still, even though I've got a Home Depot, I've got to order my tools. But it is nice that I can ship it to the store. Snow and ice, I get big bucks working for emergency calls. Yeah, a lot of times that's about the only thing that I will go out for is if somebody doesn't have heat or somebody calls and says, I've got water, a pipe bust or whatever, something like that. And usually what I try to do is walk them through the process on that of turning their water off. But sometimes you can't talk that through to somebody on the phone. Sometimes it's hard for them to grasp what it is you're saying. Some ways got clamps like yours coming, still 60s here. Tried to buy the Klein Connect Essentials last night at Lowe's, asked to have it unlocked, waited 30 minutes for somebody to open the case. No one ever showed up. Yeah, that's been the norm, which my Lowe's doesn't have very many things locked up. My Lowe's has very little locked up, to be honest with you. They've only got like a couple little cases, and they don't have any of that stuff in there. They just put it all out. My Home Depot's got all the power tools locked up. None of the hand tools, but pretty much any power tool you want to buy, you're going to have somebody get it for you. I know with UPS, our air hub is in Louisville, Kentucky, and we usually can go days without it. My definition of emergency is your plumbing better be leaking or exploding or no power tree through the side of your house, etc. Yeah, that was the way I even was whenever I worked for the place that I worked for. I very rarely had to go in on nights or weekends or anything. I pretty much would only go in if somebody didn't have heat for the most part, and it was super cold. It had to even still be super cold, like, or because if it was air conditioner, you can kind of be okay. But the heat thing, I was helping the people, but I was also worried about like pipes and stuff like that too, because then that was going to end up being more damage type thing. Anything that without me, if I can wait till the next day and it's not going to cause more damage or you're not going to die, I'm going to do it the next day. I'm not driving down there or whatever else. It's not an emergency. It might be an emergency to them, but it's not an emergency worth me driving again, getting my truck out and somebody hitting me or me running off the road and me hitting somebody else, and then I don't have my truck and all that kind of stuff. It's just like, it's not worth it. Unless it's something bad, I'm not doing it. My 2-year-old's NOCO GB40 went on the fritz. Spoke to them. They gave me a 35% off coupon and free shipping on a replacement. It's pretty nice. No worry with porch pirates. I never got my Fujiya pliers. Rather bummed about that. Did Amazon at least give you your money back, or did they fight you on it too, saying it said it was delivered? I always love it whenever, like, I don't know if Amazon's ever done it, but like some people make you ship it a certain way, like you don't get to pick. And then they're like, oh, well, you'll have to call them because we shipped it through them. You'll have to call the shipping people, whether it's UPS, USPS, FedEx, whatever. I'm like, no, I didn't ship it through them. You did. So you need to call them and ask them where the package is. I'm not calling and asking them where it is. I never got it. But yeah, Amazon's always been pretty good. If you go through like the chat thing, that they end up crediting you back money and stuff. I've never had anything. I've had a few packages where I've never got them, a few, and maybe even 1 or 2 times where it says that they were delivered, but they weren't type thing, but I always ended up getting my money back. If no one comes to unlock stuff, buy online, pick up in store, and then we'll have it done ASAP. George Martinez or Jorge Martinez. I never know how to say that one either. Hi from Columbia. I owned a DeWalt kit in Amazon for $149. Do you think it's a good kit to buy or looking for another brand? I don't know what kit that is, if it's a drill and an impact, but DeWalt has a bunch of different ones. So you got to be, there's certain models that are good, certain ones that aren't so great type thing. So I don't know what model that is. And I'm also not a DeWalt person to know, so that much. I don't know a lot about them. I've heard that tools not paid for won't work. Not sure if that's true. Emergency's $200 an hour, and then it starts when you're on the phone with me. You better want it. Yeah. Gulu 4000. My NOCO died after 2 years. Gulu from now on. Just got here. How heavy is your MCT when it's fully loaded? I want to say that one. It's not fully loaded right now. I'm not using it like all the time. It's just got leftover tools that I didn't put in my SBLD. I want to say I said it during the MCT loadout video. I want to say it was 30 something pounds, around 30, something like that. I'm not real sure though. Like whenever it was fully loaded. I can't remember if I think I weighed it for that loadout video and set it, but I don't remember what it was. 5 years on my NOCO jump starter, still a champ. I've even jumped a few cat big boy equipment. I've got that Top Dod one that they sent me, and I just used it to jump a truck the other day, and it worked out well for that. I've only used it a handful of times, though. I haven't ran into very many times where I've had to use it. Those things are super nice to have, though. Like way better than messing around with getting out jumper cables, more than anything, just having to try to get your vehicle's battery somewhere where you can reach the other person's battery with a set of jumper cables. Not having to do that is huge. And then you also never know these days, you know, if you pull over to jump a stranger in a parking lot, it's easier that I don't have to have my truck running and unlocked and all that kind of stuff like that for me to be able to jump somebody. For all I know, they're, you know, you never know what somebody's plans are. You just, so now I can keep my truck all locked up and everything, just get that out and go over and jump somebody's vehicle. I don't have to worry about somebody jumping in my truck and taking off in it, you know, or something weird like that. RRT08 said DeWalt XR, if you're going to get DeWalt for the 20 volt, 30 to 40 pounds is about normal. I want to say it was like in the, I want to say low 30s. I think it was like 32, 30, if I remember right, but I don't remember. Amazon, make sure and sold and shipped by Amazon. Yeah, that does make a difference. That does. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I'll let you guys get back to work who are working on Saturday. More than anything, again, doing the giveaway. So Michael Johnson, I think it was. And again, don't hold me to these names that I'm saying right now. And go back and see if you won in the very beginning with the little scrolling going there, because I have no idea what the numbers were. Those are going to draw a blank for me. I know it's Michael Johnson, then it was A. Sam, and then some other numbers. Got a Dallas Cowboys little icon deal for your picture. Both of y'all make sure that you email me your mailing address, and then again, I will give you some sort of a word to go back and put in your comments so that I know that it is you that are actually emailing me. And then if you are, for some reason, because I don't think I've ever talked back and forth through anything else with those two, if you are from somewhere where shipping is going to be extravagant and you can get those on Amazon, I will probably just buy it and ship it to you directly from Amazon, because it's probably gonna be cheaper than me shipping it if that's the case. If you're over in UK or, you know, some other country or something like that, that's always a crazy thing. So Road Rage Jason said, thanks for your time today. Appreciate you being here too, buddy. See you, Robert. Woodchuck. See you, Contreras. See you, Matt. Make sure you get your doors done. See you, Jeff. And everybody else that's on here. But we'll see y'all on the next one. Somebody just commented on something. Let's see. Another pleasant Morgan's Matter Day. Yep. See you, buddy. See you, TPG. See you, Red Tools. See you, Terry Burton. All y'all rolling in right here before I hit the X. Oh, somebody else, some way. See you, buddy.